I wrote for probably 15 years that I own a helicopter, and then boom, the helicopter showed up. In fact, two of them showed up, about two at the same time. It is easier. Nobody's going to believe this until you do it. It is easier to run a 1,000-person company than it is a 10-person company. It is easier to make $1 billion than it is to make $1 million. I know that seems crazy, but it's easier to manage 12,000 apartments than it is to manage 12 units. Kelly, how you doing?
Very, very good. I'm so happy to meet you today. You are my role model. Of course, many Korean people, you are the role model for us. I'm so appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking enough of me to do this.
Where you are today now?
I'm in Miami.
Miami. I'm in Portugal. I live in Senegal, in Portugal and Paris and UK.
Oh, wow. How's the weather there?
Weather is fantastic now, especially Portugal. It's very, very hot, but yeah, very good.
I love it there.
Yeah. I know. How many time do you have today now?
Oh, like 20, 25 minutes, but it's fine. Just be comfortable letting it go wherever it goes. The Korean audience is very, very important to me. That part of the world is very, very important to me spiritually. And so I want this to be the first of many things we do together, not the last thing. I've always had a connection to the Middle East and to Asia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I start? What we prepare a question?
And you guys are welcome to like use any of this other stuff that we're doing. Like, this is who I am. I'm a very transparent person. Sometimes the audience likes the before and after stuff better than the stuff in between.
How I can call you? Cardone, it's okay?
Yeah, Cardone. You can call me Cardone. You can call me Grant.
Please introduce yourself to the Korean audience, Grant, please.
Oh, that's awesome. So to all the followers of Kelly and influencers and your partners, Kelly, my name's Grant Cardone. I'm in Miami, Florida today. We have offices in Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, actually, and also have a home in Malibu, California. We own a big apartment portfolio, 12,000 units, $5 billion. And we have 18 companies with a combined value of $3 billion. All this was started from scratch. I've written 21 best-selling business books and our programs. And we want to help people around the world achieve whatever they can dream.
Wow, it's really fantastic. Wow, this is incredible. I know your very beginning background. I want to know, how did you first start making money? First 1 million euro after bankruptcy.
The condition I was in, I was just poor. I didn't have any money. I didn't have credit. I didn't have connections. And I really didn't have a direction. I was 25 years old and I was in a job that I did not like. And rather than changing jobs, because I had already tried, moving to different jobs to solve my problems, I decided to get good at a job that I didn't like. I was in a sales position and I started studying everything I could from anyone and everyone that had a strategy about how I could become a professional salesperson. I learned how to do that. And within about 6 months, I had reached the top 1% of all the salespeople in my industry. Keep in mind, Kelly, I didn't even like this job 6 months before that. So that's where I started making a little bit of money. The most important money I've ever made in my entire life was going from $3,000 a month to $4,000. That $1,000 was the inspiration for me to become literally who I am today.
Wow, yeah. Can you explain the 10x rules in your time?
Yeah,
Incredible, these rules.
Yeah, the 10X Rule was a book that I wrote in 2012. It's become an international phenomenon. It's more than a book today. It's become almost like a community of people all over the world that wear 10X hats, 10X shirts, 10X wristbands, that, you know, throw the 10X. And 10X is the concept of expansion. It's orders of magnitude. It's literally a movement of people where somebody was thinking about having one company. They start thinking about, how can I have 10 people that are thinking about 10? How can I have 100? If you wanted to help 1,000 people in Korea, how could you help 10,000 instead of 1,000? And the whole concept came to me out of 2008, the global recession, because I had worked for 25 years and this one recession literally took almost 80% of the wealth that I had created was taken away from me. And I had nothing, really virtually nothing to do with that recession. I was not the person that caused it or created it. I wasn't doing the funny mortgages that were being done around the world. So 10X, I asked myself, hey, what could I have done different? So I hadn't worked for 25 years and had most of it taken from me. What would I had to have done differently? And the answer was you would have to 10X your finances, your investments, your employees, your customers, and the industries and the contacts that you work in and use. I was telling you guys before we started today, the connection I have with your part of the world, Asia, has always been a tremendous, like a spiritual string that I'm connected to your country, even though I haven't been there. We've taken that book and now it's going to be the 10X Entrepreneur, just for entrepreneurs, 10X Kids for 13-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds. So you're going to see this 10X Marketing, 10X Fitness.
In the book, the 10X Rules, the phrase, you said, write down your goals and imagine your goals every day. It's impressive. I do same thing. And
Yes.
then you said you write down your goals daily, but to what extent did you set on in realistic goals? Did you visualize it?
Yeah. So the way this is a great question, by the way. And what I do is, I think it's magic. I don't know exactly understand why it works or how it works. I believe in the law of action and actions, in fact. Okay. When you read the 10X Rule, you're actually never going to see the word action used in a singular text. It's always actions, because I don't believe that there's any one action that can actually move your life. It is actions. There's no one right action. It needs to be a series of actions. But that being said, where am I taking actions toward, right? So like what I do in the morning is I basically get a pen. I'll have a legal pad like this, nothing fancy. I throw these away at the end. I've been through hundreds, maybe thousands of these legal pads, and I keep them around me all the time. And 3 times I do this. I do it when I wake up. I do it before I go to sleep at night. And I do it anytime I'm disappointed or discouraged. Anytime I'm lost, or I feel burnt out or tired. Okay, I'm just going to do it right now, show you how fast it is. I am worth $10 billion. I own 50 billion in real estate. I have 10,000 employees. Okay, I am happy, whatever. It's all in present tense. Okay, it's all right now. I am running for president of the United States. Whatever, right? It's these massive, massive goals. They're unachievable in the present. I add no mechanics to it. There is no how I'm going to do it involved. There's no strategy. And then I basically go about my day. I'm gonna do that again tonight. Do it if I get discouraged. These things are gonna change. I don't write them down and look at them. Okay, I do not put them on my computer and look at them. I don't think that works, because you're basically looking at the past. And the goals that I write this morning may be different than the ones I write tonight. The ones that are important will keep showing up over and over again. They'll start growing. Some of the, like, for instance, I'll just tell you, like, I have a helicopter back here. That's a model of a helicopter that I own. I wrote for probably 15 years that I own a helicopter. And then for about 5 years, it didn't show up anymore. It would come and go over 15 years. Then it just completely went away and it wasn't important. And then it started showing up again in the morning. Hey, I own a helicopter. I don't even know why I want the helicopter. And then boom, the helicopter showed up. In fact, 2 of them showed up. I bought 2 at the same time.
Yeah, I'm exactly same thing I do. I write down them more than 100 at a time. It takes me 20 minutes to 40 minutes sometime, really for focusing where I want to go. I achieve my dream like you. I started very poor situation. I arrived the do business in 13 different countries in the whole Europe. And I created 6,000 new job because of doing that. I'm very, very understood 100%.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to hear that. And then I want to know for my follower, you are very big businessman, but the very beginning, 0 to like $10 million, if you say us the loan from your story for our followers, please.
From 0 to $1 million, I had no life balance. I think that it's a bit arrogant to think that when you're broke, you're going to have balance. For me, I hadn't deserved to have any life balance. I was trying to get my money right. And if you want to be a professional athlete and play in the NBA or the NFL, or you want to be the best in the world, you're going to have to pay a price somewhere. So from 0 to $1 million, I was like just focused on one thing, getting good at what I was doing. I was working for someone else. I became $1 million employee, a millionaire employee, not a million. I didn't go start my own business. I figured out how to make other people around me rich and richer. And if they get 10 times richer, I'm probably going to get a piece. And then when I had a little bit of money, I went out on my own. I started my own business, not really because I wanted to, but because I had to. That company I was working for ended up doing something else. I threw myself all in. I was working 260 days a year. I was working 14-hour days. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have kids. I didn't have family. I didn't have fun, nothing. I paid the price. I have this saying, pay the price today so that you can pay any price tomorrow. And today I can pay any price. You know, I got a brand new Gulfstream 650. It could fly from here to Korea nonstop. And, you know, we have 12,000 apartments. I didn't have life balance in the beginning. I look, if I'm scared because I don't know where my money's coming from. I have 3 employees and I'm worried about losing one of them. Or I'm having to deal with customers that I don't like because I haven't gotten big enough. Talked about for thousands of years on this planet, but I've never seen anybody achieve it. You know, if you pray, you meditate, and you take action and there's no money, then you're poor. And if you're poor, you're scared. And if you're poor and you're not scared, then you're mentally, you got a deficiency in your mental. Because how can you be truly happy if you're broke? How can you be happy if you're scared? And I believe financial freedom, wealth, the word wealth comes from the word well. It actually meant health in the 1700s. 500 years ago, it didn't mean just money. It meant well, I'm well-being, well with health. And here in the West, you know, we confuse money with a lot of things. Money has actually become a derogatory or negative, you know, in the West.
You achieved the finance freedom, Kyadon. Me too, I already achieved the finance freedom. Now, what do you think is most valuable? Why you work harder? And then, why you are so energized now?
Yeah, because I know that I can, now I have enough confidence. You know, the thing about financial freedom, Kelly, that you know, is once you get true financial freedom, you're inspired now not just to travel the world and spend your own money and buy another bag or some more sunglasses or a pair of shoes, or you're like, hey, I want other people to know about this. The financial freedom thing is not about having a bunch of money. It is about the ability to take off these mental shackles, these handcuffs. It's independence. The word freedom comes from, it talks about independence, free from oppression, whether it's real or not real. And most oppression, suppression, and lack of freedom is actually just it's a mental condition. Once you're wealthy, you don't want to be rich again. Most people are trying to get rich. Rich is a trap. Wealthy people, wealthy to me, is I have such an abundance that no one can steal it. No one can take it. It cannot be destroyed. And I don't know what that number is. So if you look at Elon Musk, he's joking right now about buying the UK soccer team and Twitter and maybe losing a lawsuit at the same time. To me, that's financial independence. Like, okay, I'm in a lawsuit with Twitter for $50 billion. And I'm going to announce publicly that I'm going to go buy a soccer team. I was just on the phone with the guy right before this. He owns 100,000 apartments in America. He's probably the top 3 apartment owners in America. And I said, hey, would you like to come speak on my stage? He's like, I'd like to, but my company doesn't want me to. And I said, oh, wow, I'm sorry you haven't achieved financial freedom yet. And he's like, what? The guy's a billionaire. Okay. And he's like, what? I said, I'm sorry that your people still tell you what to do.
Wow.
And he's like, well, they don't think it would be good for me. I said, well, they're wrong. And if you want to do it, you should do it. Why have all this money and not be able to go someplace and see? And that's what you guys know, so many rich people that once they get it, they close the curtains and hide. And they don't share. It's like the Wizard of Oz. If you guys have the Wizard of Oz over there, right? He went behind the curtains. You don't know who he is. You don't know what he's up to. So I just promised myself that if I ever made it, if I ever became truly successful, financially successful, that I would continue to share it with other people and spend time, Kelly, with people I don't know. And now I do. To me, true financial independence is doing what I want, when I want, in disregard of any consequences. The only way to protect your brand is to expand it. Okay. You cannot protect a brand. Okay. You can't protect your brand by putting a fence around it. All you do is it becomes non-survival entity. The way to protect your brand is to expand it. The way to protect finances is to expand the finances. But typically what happens with most people is they get money, they get a little success, and then they want to protect it. They do exactly the opposite of what got them their success. What got Kelly to be Kelly was that you went out there and did this stuff. Then you bring a person in and that person starts managing activities. Managers are not entrepreneurs. Managers are trying to manage, they're trying to control something. I want to continue to expand and take risk. I don't believe that I'm truly financially free if I'm not willing to keep taking risk. I'm actually trapped now by some amount. That's why I love Elon Musk so much, because I watch him. He has no mental strings to his money. It means nothing to him. That could be sabotaging my behavior or my decisions. We all know people. I know I used to do this. I used to literally pick the wrong people, pick the wrong deals, make the wrong decisions, and then not make decisions on the good people and the good deals. So thank you for saying that I have a good picker. I think it is it's not a gift. Everybody has the ability to make the right decisions, but they never spend any time or energy removing those things. In society, we're always trying to add information. Knowledge is power. this concept that knowledge is power and everybody's trying to get more knowledge. I think most people have too much knowledge and not enough trust. I trust myself explicitly. And I used to not trust myself. And adding more information to me will not make me more trustworthy. Removing the things removing those sabotaging decision, like the false information that we have. Save your money, buy a house, don't take risks, save for a rainy day. Like these are false. These things only fund banks. These concepts, buy low and sell high. These are not the things that wealthy people do. And so I had to spend some time undoing all that education. I talk about money, sales, marketing, but spiritually, I'm basically expressing myself through these things. Even though to other people, it doesn't look like I'm that spiritual guy. I'm just, because I'm getting things done.
Yeah, thank you. I am really opened the mind and learn a lot from you. And then my audience, the Korean audience watching this video, they want to learn from you. Please say something to the Korean audience who dream of success by watching this video.
Yeah, so I would just say, look, most people are adopting other people's ideas. For instance, the concept to be a millionaire. You know, when I ask people, what are your financial goals? I want to be a millionaire. Okay, but when did you decide you wanted to be a millionaire? Why that number? Most people, if you just look at it, have not even inflated their dreams. Food prices are inflated, gasoline prices, housing prices, everything went up except the person's intentions and dreams and goals. So we are a planet that has endless amounts of money. And anytime there is a shortage of money, your country, my country will just print more money. There's more money on this planet than there are telephones, people. There's more money than there is cars, like houses. There's just endless amounts of paper. But most of us are running around, you know, trading our time for money. So I would just tell your audience, like, you need to think way bigger. Whatever your goals are, if you want to be a millionaire or billionaire, multiply times 10. You want to help 100,000 people, multiply times 10. It's an arbitrary number. It's a made up concept that you just basically start multiplying. Quit adding, quit trying to get little incremental. Because what happens is life, this universe is brutal. It's a mean place. If you take 2 steps back forward and you take 1 step backwards, you never get ahead. But when you jump, okay, when you jump, when you're able to leap, when you're able to go from 100 customers to 1,000, when you lose 20% of them, you're still at 800. You're still 8 times ahead of where you were. And so I would just tell people, you got to start thinking much bigger, taking much bigger, more actions. You have to take a bigger volume of actions. You need to not be in one industry. You need to be in 10. And to do that, you need partners, you need employees, you need to think bigger, you need to spend more, dream bigger, and get around a lot of people that are 10Xers.
Thank you. Do you know, everyday morning, I have a running routine. My running routine is visualization, ideal my day, or ideal my life, ideal my dream, etc. It's very important for me.
Yes.
Do you have some morning routine like this every morning? What kind of thing you do?
I wake up. First thing I do every day is wake up. You know, that's the most important thing, is to wake up, right? And then I write my goals down, and then I get a workout in. And so that's my morning routine. Then I come to the office, and then everybody starts telling me what to do. My number 1, number 2, and number 3 purpose job at my company is the owner of the company is to promote the company. Number 2, promote the company. And number 3, promote my company. Like doing this with you guys. I'm promoting Grant Cardone, the brand, Cardone Capital, Cardone Ventures, the 10X movement. so that when I come to Seoul, there's going to be people show up and say, hey, I saw your interview with Kelly. I started following you with Kelly and spent that day with you. Look, if you don't know me, you're not going to do business with me. Okay. And who knows me is more important than probably anything else I can do for my family. Because if you don't know me and I don't know you, we're not going to do anything together. Now we know each other. Now, how can I get you to know me? 2, how can I get you to remember me? 3, how can we do something together?
Almost the last question. Do you have a plan for Korea, for come Korea?
Yes, it is consummated today with you. We got to figure out how to bring business owners together, get them thinking bigger so that, you don't go through another civil war. You go through where the country changes itself, not just makes it better, but makes it 10 times better for everyone. Bigger economy, bigger opportunities, bigger think. When an entire country does that, you don't have time for war, fighting, arguing. When people are 10Xing, they don't have time for foolishness.
Yeah, I'd like to do something with you when you come Korea. Europe. 언제나 I living in Europe. Next time, when do you come in Europe?
We just got to figure it out. Let's work on it. Let's figure out when we can come. I would love to come there and help like we have done here in America. We've done it in South America, Canada. I would love to come there. I did a world tour. We did 19 countries. Every event was sold out. This concept of much bigger think is underestimated, how small most of us are thinking. And there's a scarcity concept that wraps this planet like gravity and holds us down to believe that we're just bodies and we have limitations. You don't. You can do 10 times more. 10x, by the way, is easier than just adding little incremental. It is easier. Nobody's going to believe this until you do it. It is easier to run 1,000-person company than it is a 10-person company. It is easier to make $1 billion than it is to make $1 million. I know that seems crazy, but it's easier to manage 12,000 apartments than it is to manage 12 units. And that's what I want to bring there, the exact strategies. And also this one piece that the education system is missing. How do you get money? You don't make money. How do you get it? How do you keep it? And then most importantly, number 3, how do you multiply money so that you continue to get it and keep it forever? Not just a lifetime, but generations.
Wow. Thank you.
Hey, Kelly, thank you so much for having me today. Today was a big day for me to meet you guys, and I look forward to seeing you face to face in Korea.
Super. And then last, if I can do in your YouTube, one day I hope so, coming in your YouTube.
I love that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.